Hi, I'm Andy Aledort, and welcome to In Deep with Country Chicken Pickin'. In this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate a variety of guitar techniques used by famous country guitar players, and these techniques often are given the name chicken pickin', but chicken pickin' actually can denote a lot of different techniques. Sometimes it's just a global term for country-style guitar playing. Oftentimes, the sound of chicken picking comes from hybrid picking or finger picking, where you combine using the flat pick with picking with the fingers. And some of the great players that have developed this technique and are famous for it are guys like James Burton, who played with Elvis Presley, and then there's a few guys that played with Merle Haggard, like Roy Nichols and Roy Buchanan and Red Volkert. Another great Telecaster player, because Telecaster is often the guitar of choice for country-style lead guitar, Danny Gatton, and then these days you've got Brad Paisley. So here we go. Let's get into some country chicken picking techniques. Let's start off by talking about the gear a little bit. Typically, a lot of country guitar players, lead guitar players, like to use light strings. The reason for that is because of all the string bending. Such as 9s, some guys use 8s. I actually have 10s on this guitar. So you should experiment with that, but it's very common to use string gauge such as 9s. Another thing, gear-wise, I have a delay on, a little analog delay, a carbon copy, MXR carbon copy with a short slapback, single repeat. And I also have a Dynacomp compression pedal on. Which smooths out the sound also. It works great, especially using the treble pickup, which is a very common thing to do. As I said, a lot of country guitar players prefer using Telecasters, so on the bridge pickup you get a really sharp sound, and the compressor smooths things out. It sounds really cool. So that's a typical setup. The guitar technique most closely associated with the term chicken picking comes from picking notes and combining muted hits with syncopated accents of a sound. And then oftentimes, you'll use a combination of the pick and fingers, hybrid picking, for multiple attacks for those muted accents. So here's an example of what I mean. All right, this lick is played in A over an A chord. And I started bending the 4th fret of the G string up a whole step. So that's sort of based on A major pentatonic. So I bend the string, and then I release the bend and just mute the string with the finger. And while it's muted, I'm going to pick with the pick and the finger on the muted string. So pick normally, then I'm going back and forth between using the pick and using my finger, and I'm muting it with the fret hand. Then I move up to A minor pentatonic position, 5th position, and I do the exact same thing. So you can see I'm using the same technique. So getting that clicking sound into the riffs is a big part of country lead styles. And you can do it either by the hybrid picking and rolling the fingers like we just did, or you can also do it just with the pick by muting slightly and coming off the strings with the fret hand to create a muted choked sound, and combining sort of choking techniques with the fret hand and the pick hand. Here's another lick. All right, this lick is pretty much based on A major pentatonic, but I'm using a passing tone between the second and the minor third. And on the A string in the beginning, I didn't use that second, I just went. And then the choking sound, I release pressure with the fret hand, and then the pick hand is primarily picking 16ths almost the whole time. 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda, 4 eanda. So while the pick hand is pretty much steadily creating that rhythm, you create the melody and the syncopation of the line with the fret hand.